So I just rewatched Matt Reeves' The Batman, and I gotta say, I'm excited to see where they take this. But then it reminded me, we're getting a new Joker. At the end of the film, it's shown that Joker's in a cell laughing. That was enough to make the internet explode. They didn't like that so much.
That new Joker is bad. The Joker sucks. We want Heath. If he doesn't act like Heath Ledger, Joker is not bad. A good Joker. He's bad Joker. We don't want new Joker. We want Hollywood-approved actors only. Duh.
Until they released another clip of a full sit-down with Batman and the Joker, which should have been included in the film, but they removed it because of continuity.
You're not sure he's wrong, huh? You think they deserved it, huh? You think they deserved it.
I understand why they took it out, but I wish they left it in the film so people could judge this character more effectively. There's a lot of people that haven't seen this, and I think it's an excellent performance, and it adds to the story of the movie. They obviously wanted him to fill this Hannibal Lecter type of role where Batman's consulting him to get into the mind of the other person. I think that's very interesting. Now, what are we supposed to make of this? Who is this actor? What are they going to do with the character? Is he good for the role? I'll answer all of those questions for you. We've received a lot of Jokers in the past. Some very, very, very good and some very, very bad. Now that Matt Reeves launched his take on Batman, it's been revealed that we're getting a new Joker, and a lot of people are freaking out about it. It's important to note that these people that are freaking out are the same people that freaked out about Robert Pattinson in the role of Batman, and probably the same people that freaked out over Heath Ledger when he was initially announced as the casting for the new Joker. Most people haven't even heard of this new actor. His name is Barry Keoghan. Lucky for you guys, I've been following this guy's career, and I'm here to tell you that he's a fantastic choice.
What makes him a fantastic choice, CJ?
Well, what is it that we want from the new Joker? We probably want somebody that's able to bring a new flavor into the character, someone that's able to take the complexities and the intricacies of the character and display it well on screen. Everybody seemed to give a good reaction to Joaquin Phoenix when he was announced because we were more familiar with who he was and what he could bring to the table. Now, I'm here to tell you that just because he's a lesser known actor doesn't make this a bad choice. He's normally picked for smaller roles and independent artsy type of films, but I think that's exactly what we need in this situation. Matt Reeves is creating a new Batman world, and so far I've been completely immersed with the direction that he's brought every character. I like it a lot, so I'm inclined to trust his judgment on this. So here's a clip from a scene where he plays a 16-year-old psychopath that's playing mind games with the protagonist. He's actually with Colin Farrell, which is kind of cool because he'll be reunited with the Penguin, Colin Farrell, in the Batman universe. Just pay attention to the scene and analyze it for yourself. Let me know what you guys think.
Do you think she's happy that her beloved son is a murderer?
Murderer? There's really no need for such a dramatic, sensational, old-fashioned word. I just want to show you an example. That's all. Should I stroke your wound? Actually, that would probably hurt even more, touching an open wound. No, there's only one way to make you and me both feel better. Do you understand? It's metaphorical. It's symbolic.
So if you haven't seen this movie, it's called The Killing of a Sacred Deer. It's fantastic. Highly recommend it. It's made by the filmmaker who put out The Lobster, which is a classic. Now, what I find interesting is there's a lot of parallels with this scene and the interrogation scene from The Dark Knight, where Batman's interrogating the Joker. It's set up very similar, and the stakes are pretty much identical. The main character is forced to choose which person that he cares about is going to live or die. And even though he has the antagonist hostage or kidnapped, the antagonist has all the cards. He has one up on them. So the main character is forced to play their game and be toyed with a little bit. It's kind of interesting.
What does Harvey know about you and his little bully?
Where are they?
Killing is making a choice.
Where are they?
Choose between one life or the other. Your friend, the district attorney, or his blushing bride-to-be.
I say this to point out that there's clear examples of him portraying that psychotic Joker-like character on screen, and I think you guys should pay some attention to his previous work.
Listen, Martin, I don't have time for this.
Okay, I'm gonna explain this very quickly so that I don't hold you up. It's exactly what you think. Just like you killed a member of my family, now you gotta kill a member of your family to balance things out, understand? I can't tell you who to kill, of course, that's for you to decide, but if you don't do it, they will all get sick and die. Bob will die, Kim will die, your wife will die. Don't worry, you won't get sick, you just gotta stay calm, that's all. There, I said it as quickly as I could. I hope I haven't kept you too long.
Just because he hasn't been in any big AAA blockbuster movies doesn't mean he's not on the caliber to take this character forward. We're not going to get another Heath Ledger, but we don't need another Heath Ledger. Heath Ledger is solidified, and Matt Reeves isn't bringing this character into this universe just for the novelty. It might seem that way since they kind of threw him in the end of the movie just to sell tickets to the next one, but Joker was supposed to play a bigger role in the film. They just ended up scrapping it.
The mayor, the commissioner. He's got ambition.
You think his motive is political?
Oh, no. This is very, very personal. He feels these people have all wronged him.
What are they going to do with the character, CJ? Is it going to be interesting?
I listened to the director's commentary for The Batman, and Matt Reeves touches on this some more. Apparently, Joker isn't quite the Joker in this universe yet, and he'll become the Joker over time. He's listed as the unseen prisoner, and apparently he's been afflicted with deformity since birth, so that's affected his outlook on humanity. He feels like he's outside of humanity looking in, and through his childhood, he developed some sort of symbiotic relationship with humanity where he's not quite attached to it, and through that he's grown a resentment to people, but he's also learned to understand them very well, so he's been able to manipulate people psychologically his entire life. I think this is a really interesting dynamic to play off of, and I can't wait to see it unfold. But listen to Matt Reeves explain his line of thinking.
Here we have a version of this character who is not yet the Joker, but is going to become the Joker, and I wanted Batman to have had an experience with him that put him in Arkham. And I wanted this version of the character to go all the way back to the original Bob Kane, Bill Finger inspiration, which is Conrad Veidt in the silent film The Man Who Laughs, who, it's like a Phantom of the Opera story.
So when he says this, it makes me very interested about the inspiration coming from The Man Who Laughs. That's actually the original inspiration for the character in the first place. It's about somebody that was struck with an illness, a deformity at birth where it makes it look like he's constantly smiling. It looks like a horror film, even though it's not, but it seems that Matt Reeves is pulling from inspirations from film history, the origins of the character, and really interesting themes. Every character that he introduces into his movies end up having a really complicated history, and a lot of their motivations stem from their childhood. And it's really interesting to see that in modern comic book movies because we're not used to fleshed out characters. But in his take on the Batman, we get a character study on Batman, which we've never gotten before. We touch on his childhood a little bit, but we don't see his personal afflictions affecting his actions in real time. Now, of course, these are just the seeds of the Joker. He's not on screen yet, so we don't get to see exactly where they take it, but I like that this is his line of thinking. Listen to the rest of what he says about The Man Who Laughs and the Elephant Man being an inspiration for the origin of the character and where they take it from there.
A character who, you know, there are all these iterations of the Joker. There, of course, is the classic version where he fell into a vat of chemicals. There's what Nolan did with the knife scars. We talked about this idea. What I was interested in was this notion that the Joker would have been marked from childhood, the way that all the characters in the story really are kind of marked by events in their childhood. In his case, from birth, because he had this affliction that was like the Elephant Man, where he has this degenerative disease and he has this kind of horrifying smile that's been plastered on his face, and his whole worldview has been formed by the world looking at him like he was a terrifying freak since he was a child. And instead of the sort of legend of John Merrick, who was supposedly a very soulful, beautiful person behind all of the exterior that frightened people, here the idea would be that his exterior would form the interior, and that he would have a very kind of dark view of humanity, and also would be used to people looking at him in a way that he felt that he could start to get inside of their brains. He sort of has you at his mercy because you're frightened just to look at him, and he's used to that. He has no real sort of belief in the goodness of people, but instead has a kind of insidious psychological understanding of the way people respond. And in this scene, the idea was that the Joker would be enjoying toying with Batman because he sees this connection that actually is one of the key parts of the arc of the whole movie.
So there you have it. I don't see how this can turn out bad. I really don't. Stop comparing him to Heath Ledger. Stop comparing him to even Joaquin. This is a new character. This is his own thing. And I think it could turn out better than any of the other iterations of the Joker, in its own special way, of course. I really, really like the direction that they're taking this character. You have someone that's very competent behind the wheel in terms of writing and crafting his lore and his story and his dialogue. You have an insanely talented cinematographer so they can display this in the best way possible. And then you have a criminally underrated actor that is more than capable of bringing this character to life. I am very excited for this. I think that you guys should check out some of Barry Keoghan's work in the past. And if you don't trust Matt Reeves by now, I don't know what's gonna make you. I will say there's a little bit of a misstep with that Batman Cape Crusader show. That show was awful. And I would have to assume that he actually didn't have much to do with the actual production and creation of the show. I'm going to just assume the best and think that he had nothing to do with that. And if you want to hear more about that show, it is trash. It is awful. It's some of the worst Batman material I've ever seen in my whole life. I made a video about it. It's hilarious. Watch it and let me know what you guys think. But other than that, what do you guys think? Let me know. You think Barry Keoghan will be great in the role? You think he has what it takes? Do you think Matt Reeves is going to do it again with his second Batman movie? Do you think the Joker might be in the upcoming Penguin series? That's a possibility too. I'll be covering the Penguin series when it comes out. Guys, subscribe and like this video if you like it. I'm growing my channel every day and I'm excited to put these videos out and hear what you guys think. So let me know. I appreciate you guys. Peace out.